On Global TV News Express, El Rufai dumps APC for SDP. In business, Nigeria's petrol imports hit record 15.42 trillion naira in 2024 despite refinery operations. On the foreign scene, U.S. orders non-emergency staff to leave South Sudan as tensions rise. And in sports, Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz ruled out with ankle injury. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the News Express and Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, on StarTimes channel 276 and free-to-air on Nigecomsat. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. The federal government has extended the deadline for applications into the Federal Civil Service to March 17, 2025. The Federal Civil Service Commission initially announced the recruitment exercise on January 27, 2025, offering over 70 positions across various ministries, departments, and agencies. However, many citizens have lamented difficulties accessing the recruitment portal, prompting widespread calls for an extension. A former Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, has left the ruling All Progressives Congress APC to join the Social Democratic Party SDP. El-Rufai made the announcement in a statement expressing his dissatisfaction with the APC's leadership style. He stated that after voicing his concerns in public and privately about the party's capricious trajectory in recent years, he has decided to look for another political platform to pursue progressive values. The Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the suit filed by the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, to March 25, 2025. The adjournment followed a submission by the respondent who informed the court that they had not been served with the necessary documents. Akpoti-Uduaghan had approached the Federal High Court seeking an order restraining the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges from investigating her. Family of the late head of state, General Sani Abacha, has faulted claims by former military president General Ibrahim Babangida that the annulment of June 12, 1993 presidential election was largely the responsibility of their late father. Abacha's son, Mohammed, in a statement, argued that Babangida, in his autobiography, missed the opportunity to make history by giving a truthful and objective account of what happened in the past. The family argued that Abacha was neither the head of state nor the commander-in-chief at the time the June 12 election was annulled. The Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NEITI, has called for gender inclusivity in the policy-making positions in the extractive industry to enhance the principles of fairness and unlock the full potential of the nation. The Executive Secretary of NEITI, Dr. Orji Ogbonnaya Orji, made the call at an event to commemorate the 2025 International Women's Day held at NEITI House, Abuja. Orji emphasized the theme of this year's International Women's Day, Invest in Women, Accelerate Action, noting that globally, the extractive industry has been characterized by a significant gender imbalance. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has predicted from Monday to Wednesday across the country. NIMET's weather outlook released in Abuja forecasts sunny and hazy skies over the northern region throughout the period. According to NIMET, in the north-central region, sunny skies with patches of clouds are expected during the morning hours. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has destroyed expired, substandard, and falsified medicines worth 100 billion naira in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The agency says the destruction, which was held at Akinyele dump site, Ibadan, became necessary to prevent a reintroduction of expired, fake, substandard and falsified drugs into circulation. Speaking during the destruction, the Director General of the agency, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, says NAFDAC, as the lead agency and chair of the Federal Task Force on Fake and Counterfeit Drugs and Unwholesome Processed Foods, is firmly committed to ensuring that food, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, chemicals, packaged water and drinks are safe, wholesome and effective for human consumption. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has confirmed the death of a 31-year-old physician who succumbed to Lassa fever after returning from the United Kingdom. The agency also reported that the cumulative number of Lassa fever cases has risen to 535 out of 2,728 suspected cases, with 98 deaths recorded across 14 states in Nigeria as of March 2nd, 2025. Lassa fever, an acute viral hemorrhagic fever, is caused by the Lassa virus. The natural reservoir for the virus is the multi-mammate rat, also known as the African rat, although other rodents can also act as carriers. You're watching the live broadcast of the News Express. When News Express returns, Syria vows accountability after reports of mass killing. We'll bring you details from the world of foreign as well as more stories from business and sports segments after the break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television. Many thanks for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Express. In business, the National Institute of Credit Administration, NICA, has expressed concerns over the inadequate support that micro, small and medium enterprises receive from multinational corporations, financial institutions and other key stakeholders in the Nigerian economy. The worry was expressed in a statement by the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Institute, Professor Chris Onalu. The Institute noted that despite their critical role in driving economic growth, job creation and national development, MSMEs had continued to struggle with limited access to credit, unfavorable lending conditions, and insufficient financial support from major players in the business and financial sectors. Nigeria's petrol imports surged in 2024, more than doubling despite increased domestic refining capacity, highlighting the country's persistent reliance on imported fuel. The latest foreign trade statistics report from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, revealed that petrol import costs rose by 105.3% to 15.42 trillion naira in 2024, up from 7.51 trillion naira in 2023. This sharp increase came at a time when expectations were high for a decline in fuel imports following significant investments in local refining. Compressed natural gas users in Abuja have called on the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, and the federal government to improve on the commodities availability across the country. Samuel Odi completes the story.
Following the removal of fuel subsidy, the Nigerian government has launched a presidential compressed natural gas initiative to drive the adoption of CNG across transportation sector, aiming to provide relief on the cost of living and reduce reliance on petrol. A cross-section of Nigerians have commended the president's initiative on driving the adoption of CNG, despite availability being a challenge. The price of CNG is more cost-effective as it is sold at 230 naira, while fuel sells for between 860 naira and 890 naira.
CNG is sold at 230 naira here in Abuja per ACM. while petrol is 800 and something in some filling stations. So if you want to compare, like my car now, it's 5,000 naira that I fill it. But if I want to use fuel, it's 60,000 naira that I can fill. So you can compare the difference. So it's very, very economical and very good and very safe to use.
Due to the lack of availability, some drivers express their grievances over the amount of time they have to spend on the queue before they can purchase the compressed natural gas.
6 in the morning, this engine would enjoy, but 6 in the morning, I dey here 5 o'clock, I dey do along. I know if you come out to work, the thing they very hard. And I beg, would they beg president, this way we initiate to us, it is very, very good. I would thank him so much. But the only thing is that advice I won't give government before you go bring something come to introduce to the public. Make you try put provision in place first before bringing those things out. Now the thing they would enjoy, but to get out there very hard.
Users of compressed natural gas speak about the safety and durability of the commodity.
Depends on the conversion. If it's from a locally, although they have stopped it, the ones that happen in Benin is a local made cylinder. So since then we have not been having any issue concerning explosion. So the safety and is very okay for engine.
The availability of CNG station is a key factor in its adoption, over which Nigerians have called on the president and NNPC to build more CNG stations. Nigerians have hailed the president for the initiative of the compressed natural gas, and they have actually confessed to the fact that it is way more cheaper and safer for them to use for their cars as well. But they've made complaint that availability has been a concern when it comes to the compressed natural gas. They've called on the president to make more availability and create more initiatives to have this compressed natural gas all over the country. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
The Lagos State government has resumed the clearance of illegal shops attached to the pedestrian bridge in Idumota as part of ongoing efforts to maintain order and improve pedestrian movement in the area. The disclosure was made in an ex-post by the Lagos State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab. He stated that the operation was carried out in a joint effort between operatives from the Office of the Drainage Services and the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, targeted structures encroaching on the bridge and its surroundings to improve accessibility and eliminate safety risks. Auction data published has showed that the value of art sold at auctions globally fell by a third last year compared to 2023, with the Chinese market crashing by 63%. ArtPrice, a France-based consultancy aggregating auction data from around the world, say the value of art sold in 2024 slumped to $9.9 billion, the lowest level since 2009. All the major art hubs recorded steep falls, with New York down 29%, London down 28%, and Paris down 21%, as collectors turned cautious given global economic uncertainty. President Donald Trump says the United States is in talks with 4 groups interested in acquiring TikTok, with the Chinese-owned app facing an uncertain future in the country. A U.S. law has ordered TikTok to divest from its Chinese owner, ByteDance, or be banned in the United States. The law banning TikTok took effect on January 19th over concerns that the Chinese government could exploit the video sharing platform to spy on Americans or covertly influence U.S. public opinion. On the foreign scene, China has congratulated Mark Carney after he won the leadership of Canada's Liberal Party, paving the way for him to become the country's next prime minister. Carney was overwhelmingly elected by his party, but may not be in the post for long, as Canada must hold national elections by October. The 59-year-old steps into the role at a daunting time as U.S. President Donald Trump imposes sweeping tariffs on Canada and ramps up his expansionist rhetoric against a key American ally. Syria's new leader has vowed accountability and an investigation after reports of mass killings of Alawite civilians triggered an international backlash against the worst violence since Bashar al-Assad's overthrow. In its latest toll, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights War Monitor saying 973 civilians had perished since March 6 in killings, failed executions and ethnic cleansing operations by security personnel or pro-government fighters in the coastal heartland of Alawite minority community to which the toppled president belongs. The United States has ordered all its non-emergency staff in South Sudan to leave amid rising tensions in the country. Fighting in recent days has threatened an already fragile peace deal between President Salva Kiir and Vice President Riek Machar. The two leaders signed a peace agreement in 2018 to end a 5-year civil war that killed hundreds of thousands of people, but their relationship remained fraught. Rwandan tacklers and exporters say they're paying a steep price for the conflict in the eastern region of neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo, having to deal with angry locals and fearful customers. Olivia Munyemana, a Rwandan lorry driver, knows the routes from the Indian Ocean port of Dar es Salaam to the DRC by heart, having driven it for 8 years. But as fighting has escalated in DRC in recent months, with the Rwandan-backed M23 armed group seizing large areas of the east, including the border towns of Goma and Bukavu, he's too afraid to cross. In sports now, Paralympic bronze medalist Eniola Bolaji has added another prestigious gold medal to her collections, winning the women's single SL3 category at the 2025 Spanish Para Badminton International 2 in Victoria, extending her remarkable unbeaten run to 11 international tournaments. The multiple African champion convincingly defeated Ukraine's Oksana Kozyba 2-0 in the final, cementing her status as one of the world's dominant forces in para badminton. Bayer Leverkusen midfielder Florian Wirtz has been ruled out for several weeks after suffering a ligament injury in his right ankle during Saturday's 2-0 home defeat to Werder Bremen. The 21-year-old, who was introduced at the start of the season half, was forced off in the 59th minute following a foul. An MRI scan conducted after the game confirmed the extent of his injury. The club stated via its website that the 21-year-old midfielder will be out of action for several weeks. As we end the Global TV News Express, let's take a look at our top stories. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has left the ruling All Progressives Congress APC and joined the Social Democratic Party SDP. In business, Nigeria's petrol imports surged in 2024, more than doubling despite increased domestic refining capacity, highlighting the country's persistent reliance on imported fuel. The United States has ordered all its non-emergency staff in South Sudan to leave amid rising tensions in the country. In sports, Bayer Leverkusen midfielder Florian Wirtz has been ruled out for several weeks after suffering a ligament injury in his right ankle during Saturday's 2-0 home defeat to Werder Bremen. And that's it on News Express. It came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.